Hello everyone, welcome to Carrie's Crochet and Craft. I'm in my hobby room right now. You can kind of see my yarn back here. I got some shelves, cubby shelves to put some of my yarn in, and I discovered I need to get another set of shelves because I filled that up and I still have some other yarn to organize, so I need to buy another set. I've been kind of redoing my hobby room. I used to have a guest bed over on this side. So the door is over there and the guest bed was over here, and whoever we had staying had to walk through all of my stuff in here to get to the bed. So I recently moved the bed to basically the middle, and now I just have to walk past that bed to get to my stuff, which is fine. The problem still is I cover the bed with all of my crafting supplies when nobody's staying with us for a while. So whenever we do have guests, then I have to clear off the bed. And a lot of times it just gets piled up over here, which is what has happened at the moment. That's why it's such a mess. I still haven't had a chance to get everything all organized over here. I'll show you real briefly, but please don't judge. This is mainly because I haven't had time to actually go through and organize. I have empty drawers that need to be filled and organized, and yeah, there's a lot here, so I'll just show you real briefly. I have things covered with a fabric so it doesn't look as messy. I'm admitting a lot of stuff here to you. So yeah, and that's my sewing table over there in front of the window that is completely covered. So yeah, don't judge. Anyway, some of my last videos that I made previously were dealing with the Scorched Earth Challenge put out there by Dana at Wunderlust Crochet. And I actually have been working on some of those projects, even though I haven't done any update videos or anything like that. So I just wanted to show you some of the stuff, some of the yarns that I have used up. So let's get started. One of the main things that I was working on was an advent calendar, and previously I had gotten done the backing, which seems really long to me right now. I know why, but wow, I don't remember it being that long. You can see it's been a while since I've had it out. And then there's these, which are the pockets to hold all of the little ornaments. There was the tree that goes at the top, and you put buttons on here so you can hang the ornaments as you pull them out of the pockets to celebrate the countdown. So a lot of that is what I had gotten done previously. I still haven't assembled it all together, mainly because I have to add the numbers onto the pockets, and that part to me just seems, you know, repetitive or something. I don't know. I just don't like to sit down and do that. You have to like get the numbers in the right spot, make sure they're centered. It seems like so much work to me, so I just haven't done it yet. I think that's a problem, you know, a project that I have to tackle. So the rest of it is somewhere around here. So my goal when I started this was to get this done for, like, when did I start this? 2020? No, 2021. And I'd hoped to get it done. I started it in like February or March, and I'd hoped to get it done for Christmas 2021. It didn't get done by Christmas 2021. So then I put it down for a while, and then I'm like, you know what? I'd really like to work on that some more. So I worked on it some more, and I got more of the little ornaments done. That was the big thing I'm working on right now. Oh, and I have one started here, so I don't want to pull that out. Sorry, it's still attached to the skein. So let me pull these out and I'll show you all the ones that I have completed. I'm really almost done with all of the ornaments. I think I only have 4 or 5 more to do. So let me just show you those. I have the 2 candy canes pretty much done. I still need to, you know, when you hang it, that's when it gets the, you know, the little hook on it. So I have both of those crocheted. I have one stocking completed, except for, of course, the ends. I gotta seam it up there. And then the other one is underway. I still have to do the rest of this part right here on that one. I have both wreaths done. If I can find the other one here. Oh, here it is. And then I did the wreath, or the bows in different colors on these. A red and a blue. And then here are the mittens. Did I show that one in the prop instructions? I can't remember if I did or not, but there's mittens in 2 different colors. Here are the 2 snowmen. Here are the 2 cups of cocoa. I did one in the orange color and one in the kind of harvest red. Here are the 2 holly and berries. I did one in the bright green and one in the dark green. And I did a lighter red and a darker red for the berries on those. And here are the 2 little snowflakes. Yep, there we go. And then here are the 2 Santas. And then should be one more thing in here. These are the 2 presents. So there are those. So I really am almost done. I have that one stocking left to finish. And then I haven't done the reindeer or the gingerbread men. And yeah, that's it. The stocking, and then 2 reindeer and 2 gingerbread men. And then I have to assemble it all, which is the part I dread. But yeah, I got that done all this year, though, or some of that done this year, in 2022. And I was thinking, oh, I want to get it done for Christmas 2022, but I didn't. So now my goal, 2 years later, hopefully I can get it done for 2023. I'll probably get inspired sometime this fall to get going on it. I probably won't finish it again, but we'll keep plugging away at this and I'll get it done one of these days. But this was all in a attempt to start getting rid of, use up some of the Caron Soft yarns that I have. I have a lot of this yarn, so I'm glad to be using that up, moving it along. Okay, so that was that for that project that I've been working on for the Scorched Earth Challenge. Another project that I did, and I don't remember if I had this yarn in my pile of Scorched Earth Challenge yarns to use up, but this was a yarn that I got like 2 or 3 skeins of on clearance, probably Hobby Lobby, and I just decided to use it up as it's kind of a lap blanket, and I used double crochets. I did like a row of just double crochet across, and then I did a row of double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. I did 3 rows of that, and then I did 2 rows of the full double crochet across, and then 3 rows again of the mesh, and I just did that for several rows. And then the first, the beginning and end rows only have 1 row of double crochet all the way across. So that makes a cute little like car blanket, or you know, just a cozy blanket to lay under the couch on. I know with the holes people will think, oh, it's, you know, makes it cold, the air can come in, but really when you have such a cozy blanket, I don't really think that matters too much. At least not for me. I did a market last December outside. Crazy. And then I did another one down in a town about 45 minutes away. So I thought I'd use up some of my Bernat blanket yarn that I had. I made some of those blankets, you know, like I did a dinosaur one. I did what was the other one that I did? A hot dog blanket, and it used the Bernat blanket. And so, you know, you did these shaped, it's not just a blanket, it's like a sleeping bag. You know, they had the pizzas, they had the dinosaur tail, they had the hot dog, I had a couple others too. I think a mermaid. So I had made some of those for a couple of my boys, and I had leftover yarn from that. So I finally used some of those up, and I made these ruffle hats. I made it in purple and yellow, and then I also used up my red yarn and making one of these, and I sold the red one to my stepmom. But I have these two hats yet, and I'll add them to a market that I have this fall. Some of the other things that I made with a lot of the chunkier yarn that I had are these nice chunky hats. I love this style. I have a hat from my childhood that my grandma made me that's in this style, only using just worsted weight yarn. But it's got this brim that folds up, and I love that style. Much more so than the beanie style that just lays flat like that. I like to have that, I don't know, it's just something from my childhood. I like to have that thing, that brim that folds up. So I made a bunch of these. I have the chunky Serenity, I think. I have some over here, let me show you. Yeah, I have a bunch of this stuff. Serenity Chunky that I used. And then I also had some other yarns as well. So I'll just show you some of the hats that I made with these yarns. This was a different yarn, which I'm not remembering which kind, maybe Hometown. So we have that. This is a wool blend, I believe. Maybe a Lion brand yarn. This one I made previously. This is not one I made for the challenge. I've had this one made for a while, but it's the kind that's a hat and it's a cowl. You can untie this, but anyway, it can become a cowl. This isn't part of the challenge though, because I made this quite some time ago. Okay, put that away. We have this one. I started adding pom-poms. I got some of the pom-pom makers from Joann's or Amazon, and so I started adding pom-poms to some of these hats. That one's a little small one, but whew, I can't see. There you go. I love it with the pom-poms. I think it adds a fun little detail. Then there's this one. I had some furry yarn. I thought that was so cute. Ooh. There we go. Isn't that fun? So I made some, a hat with the furry yarn. This one I actually had like a hood that was a rectangle that you just sew across the top and then it becomes a hood. So I had made one of those and I decided I didn't really like it. It kept, it keeps falling all over the place. It just doesn't stay in one place very easily. So I took it apart and I actually used some of that to make this little scrap hat. So that was really cute in my opinion. I like the scrappy hats. So made that one. This one is more of a beanie style hat. A little bit of a brim, maybe for a youth. Skinned some of that Hometown yarn. I love that green. I've been noticing a lot of my crocheting stuff is with green and blue. Here's a hat with a pom-pom. Another fun one, very colorful. Now this isn't a scrap, these aren't scrap yarns. These are yarn, variegated yarns that I had. This one's really pretty too. It's got a nice kind of springy look to it. And here's a purple one. These are very simple hats to make. Quick and easy. I just do double crochet and then I do around the post, or no, back loop only, so that it creates this ridge and it makes it extra stretchy. Just a rectangle to fit around the head, and then you gather it at the top, sew it together, add the pom-pom, fold the brim up. Very easy. So there's those. Here's one more that was kind of a scrap hat. I started out with this yarn and didn't have enough to finish it, so I'm like, what can I add to it? So I had some other, I think this was a Lion brand woolies, both of these, and so I added this strip here. Just adds a nice little bit of interest, color blocking for the hats. Here's a red one that I made. So you can see, and then this is the last one, another purple and blue one, a green. So this used up a lot of my yarn for that, for the Scorched Earth project. So that was really cool. I intend to make some more for the winter or fall markets that I might be a part of. My next ones here that I've done, this used up some of my yarn. This is the worsted weight that I've had just for years. It's a purple and blue variegated and then a navy. And it's just a little kind of an over-the-shoulder pack. And I added a zipper to this one like that. And eventually, if I don't sell it like this, I might line it with a fabric. But that's really cute. I like that pattern with the Granny Smith. It's so popular, or the Granny Smith. That's an apple. Granny Square. The Granny Square stitch. Seems to be really popular these days, so I made that with the Granny Squares. And then these two bags right here, I actually, and I can't remember, I might have shown it in my video of the yarns that I wanted to use up, or the whips that I wanted to finish, but these were Granny hexagons that I made probably 20 years ago. Yeah, probably 17 to 20 years ago. And my intention was to make them into an Afghan. So I had some, you know, it had this light red and then the variegated and then black. And then I had some that were variegated in the center and then a darker red, a medium red, and then a lighter red, and then black. And then there were some that were just black with, you know, this one has the light red, so I would have done like black with the variegated, black with the medium red, black with the darker red, so that I'd have this array of you know, hexagon colors to make an Afghan with. And I was actually going to do the same type of thing with I had a purple, the navy, and black, and I think a lighter purple. So I was gonna make Afghans using these hexagons. So I got this many hexagons made, and they have sat in a bag or in my tubs for years. And I finally said, enough is enough. I have seen bags made out of granny squares or granny hexagons, so I had just enough to make these two kind of hobo style. You can put them over your shoulder like this, or you can do, you know, across the body. So I just stitched them together on the seams using a single crochet hem stitch. I just single crocheted them together to add this nice interest between them. And then when I had them all together, I added a rim single crochet just around about, what I do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows around. Then I made a loop on the last row and added a button. Then I just crocheted single crochet for however long I wanted it to, for how low I wanted it to hang, accounting for the stretch, like if it has stuff in it, you know, how low will it hang if it has, you know, books or whatever in it. So right now it looks like it's sitting up this high, but if you load it up, it's going to be hanging low. So I took that into consideration when I was figuring what length of strap I wanted to add. So anyway, I added these to my market, and I've gotten some compliments on them, but I haven't sold one yet. But I just think they're really cool, very boho, and I hope to be able to sell them this summer. So I am almost done with the things that I have done using the Scorched Earth Challenge yarns that I wanted to get rid of. The last thing here that I want to show you is a sweater. Oh, there's two things in here. There's two things in here. Okay, we'll do this one first. So I have been on a journey to make myself some sweaters. When I was a teenager, preteen, I had all kinds of sweaters that I just loved, and I miss having those sweaters. For some reason over the years I've just ended up with like mostly sweatshirts and not very many sweaters, and so I decided to find some patterns and make myself some sweaters. I did make myself a golden, actually this color right here, a sweater made out of this golden Karen Simply Soft, and I have gotten so many compliments on that sweater, and I wear it. I wear it often, and so I decided to find another sweater to make. I will show you the pattern that I chose here. Yeah, that's it. So this is an Ayla sweater, and I'm not sure who it's by. If you do a search, maybe you can find it if you like it, for the Ayla sweater. And it's kind of a, you know, just right at the hip line length, and then long sleeve, but it's got this ribbing there. Here's a closer up image. Oh wait, there's another image there. Oh wait, I'm seeing this picture on the back of what I'm looking at. So anyway, there it is laid out. There's a further back photo. So I really like that style. It's not too long. It's not too like voluminous. It's more fitted. So I am almost done with that. The problem is, and this is why I haven't finished it yet, I love this yarn that I got. And then when I first got it, I actually thought that this was like a brown color, but when I pulled it out of the package, I realized it was a green. So when I was trying to figure out what yarn to add for like the ribbing and stuff, I thought I would have to do a brown yarn, but then I saw it was green, and I'm like, oh, I have some yarn that's that green color. And some of you might remember that I have this made up. I have several of these made up in this green and the purple, and I was trying to figure out some way to use them. Somebody, I can't remember, Kathy, suggested using these as, or maybe it was Margie, as the like a strap to a bag, and I plan to do that for some of them, but I have several of these. We even perhaps found a way to attach them together to make a blanket out of them, but when I saw this sweater pattern, saw this yarn that I wanted to use, and saw the color of green that I needed, this was the green that I had that matched it. So I'm like, okay, I can use up one of those to make the ribbing around it. So I was so excited. I love this color combination, and it's nice. I actually am using up one of these. This was the Vanna yarn. I can't even remember the name of it, but anyway, Vanna's Choice. And so it didn't, what I've done hasn't even used up an entire strip. So, you know, it hasn't used up a full, this used up a full skein of yarn, how long it was to start out with. So this is an original, the original length that it was. So this is how much it's used. So, yes, so my problem is I don't have enough of this yarn to finish the sleeves to be the length that I want them to be. So I'm having, I think, to add some more of this in the sleeve as part of the pattern. You know, this stitch and not the ribbing. So I haven't determined how long each sleeve needs to be before I add some of the green. But you can see there, I don't know, I like that color combination. The green and the pink brings out the green in here. This, I think, what was it? A Seattle, you know, those yarns that were named after different places, like there was the, I don't know. I don't have a tag for what kind of yarn it was either, so I can't help you there. Anyway, so this is gonna be, and I made it a little shorter too because I have a shorter torso than what the pattern was calling. And actually the pattern just gives you directions on how to measure it for yourself and how long you want it. So I made it a little shorter simply because I knew that I would need to save more yarn for completing the sleeves. I'm sitting on it. Okay, so here I have one sleeve started. I have the ribbing done, and then I have the sleeve almost done. But you know, if I put it up here, if I want the sleeve to come down to here, you know, this is up to my elbow. I have this much yarn left, but this also has to go for the other sleeve. So I'm trying to measure, you know, figure out how long this sleeve can be before I then have to switch to more of the green yarn in the pattern. I have the ribbing done for the second sleeve, and you can see I've actually started this using the other side of this skein. So that's how I'm gonna figure out how much yarn I can use for the sleeves. I'll just, you know, I'll do rows to match it up to the length of this, then I'll do another row of this, another row on this, another row on this, until I can have them, you know, see how long it takes to use up the rest of this yarn. But I started this last winter, probably in February, January or February. So maybe, you know, I'll be able to get it done in time for this fall to be able to wear it. But I love this sweater, love the pattern, and who knows, if I like it enough, I might make it with another color of yarn. The other thing that I have here that is using up Scorched Earth yarn is this yarn that my husband got for me. I think it was in Peru. I'm not sure. I think it was Peru. It's an alpaca yarn, and I think he got me like 3 skeins of this wool. It says it's 100% alpaca, and actually it's 100% alpaca acrylico. So it's alpaca acrylic, and it's 100% of that, but it doesn't give like the percentage of alpaca and the percentage of acrylic. So anyway, I finally decided something to make with this. The gloves that I have had for years are no longer doing the job. My fingers get cold. You know, I just wear them out to feed the chickens, and my fingers would get cold and numb. And I just thought, you know what? I need to make some nice warm mittens, and I have this wonderful wool. So I decided on this pattern here, and it's, you know, it's got the I can't even think of what it's called. It's like the wrist warmers, only it does have the thumb, and then it's got the fold back mittens that go over the top. So I have the mitten parts done. I just need to make the parts, the caps that go over the finger part, and attach that on. But for now I have the main part done with the thumb that goes on it, and yeah, I think I have both of those done. So I just need to make the part that flips over top. So I'm pretty pleased with myself. I don't normally like making gloves. Like the thumb feels really big to me there. But I had to take it apart several times to actually get the right fit, because in following the directions it was just way too big for my hand. So I had to readjust the sizing so that it actually fit on me. Like this one here is just a little big still on me, and this one is more fitted. But pretty pleased with this, and I'll have the caps that go over, so when I go out to feed the chickens this next winter, I'll have the fingers free to be able to like grab the things that I need to feed them, but then I can flip the top over, and as I'm carrying the, you know, the buckets from one place to another, my hand will still be warm. So I'm really excited about these. I only have a little bit more to do on those, and it didn't even use up a full skein of yarn, I don't believe. So I still have 2 more skeins then to do something with, and I have lots of hats. I don't know, what should I make with those? Because I thought about doing a hat, but I do have an awfully large amount of hats. I mean, got all these. But, oh, I wanted to show you, when you fold the top of the mittens back, I'm going to use these wooden buttons as the, as the attacher to keep them folded back and out of the way. So you can see here in this one, they have a wooden button right there. So that's what I'll use to fold those back with and keep them up. So I think that about does it for my Scorched Earth update. And I felt really good to get a lot of yarns taken care of and used up. And oh, that's not all. I do have some other things to show you. It's just never ending, I tell ya. Too much yarn. Just real quick here, I had some requests this summer for the towels that have the crochet tops, and I swore I would never make those, but guess what I ended up doing? Oops, I have stuff falling here. I ended up making some towels with the crochet top, and I've sold quite a few of these. And in fact, at this one of the last events I did this spring, I had people coming by and say, you never find those anymore. Nobody makes them anymore. So I had been charging like $7 or $8 for them, but then that's with, cheaper towels that you can get at like the Dollar Tree. This one is a Dollar Tree towel. They're not very high quality. So I wanted to make some that had better towels to them, but that of course means paying more for the towels, so I had to start charging more for making them. And so I now charge $10 for making the towels. But this of course used up a lot of my acrylic yarns that I have. So I'm just showing you some of the ones that I've made here. And that was good. I actually probably used up some of my skeins completely doing these. So that's another way to use up those, especially the acrylic yarns. And just make some of those towel toppers. You might sell them. Another thing that I sold, and I need to make more of these in a bigger variety of colors. This is all I have left. I sold several of these, and I sell them for $7 or $8. And this is the kind, it's the towel toppers, but it's the kind with the loop inside, and you can just hang whatever towels you already have. So you don't have to, when you take this off, obviously, to wash it, this obviously comes with it. And then you have to hang another towel. So this one, you can just take off the towel, throw it in the wash, and then throw on another towel. So these were very popular. Like I said, I've sold several of these. These just aren't as popular of colors for the kitchens for whatever reason. So, but these are very good. They do not take very long to crochet up at all. So I'll be making more of those to sell. I also made these. These aren't part of the crochet, the challenge, the Scorched challenge, because I think I bought this since then, but it's the, can't even remember what type of yarn, the Scrubology from Hobby Lobby. I made a little egg because I made this fried eggs amigurumi, and so I had people asking, what is this? Is it a scrubby? And I'm like, no, it's a plushie, it's a stuffy amigurumi. And they're like, oh, you should make a scrubby with it. So I did. I made a fried egg scrubby with the yarn. So anyway, also to use up some of the yarn, I used some of these, I think it was some of these yarns here. I made up into these little hanging baskets. The intent of these was to use them for air plants, but of course they can be used for other things too. I made several of those, and then also just little baskets to put on the shelf, so you could have one of these hanging on the wall, and then one of these on the shelf down below. You'd have a little matching, here's the matching one, matching set. You can put coins in there, whatever you want, just a nice little decorative thing for the bathroom or the hall table or something like that. So I've sold several of those. Have a lot more to sell because I went a little crazy in making them because they crochet up very fast. So anyway, that I think does it for the stuff that I the stuff that used yarn that I had committed to using up for the Scorched Earth Challenge back in 2021. So still working on that stash, still have a lot more to do. So I hope you follow along. I'll probably still do projects to help use up that stash, and I'll do updates every now and then. But for now, for the rest of this week, I am going to be making stuff. I have a market this next Friday. It's over in a town that's about 45 minutes away, about an hour. And I don't usually do them that far away because, of course, not only do you have to pay for the booth fee, but you have to pay for the gas over there. And, you know, it all adds up. But since it is a bigger town and it's an event that's not on a Saturday, and it's actually from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in a restaurant. They have a parking lot there that they want to fill up with about 22 vendors each week. So I've signed up for 1 week, and we'll see how it goes. And I might sign up for some more throughout the summer because they're going to do it June through August. So I'm going to be spending this time doing some market prep, and I'll take you along with me, show you some of the things that I've made already, and then my plans for what else I'm going to make. So we will see you next time here in my hobby room. Goodbye.